So I suppose we should probably dive into a little bit of recap.
Yeah.
So,
I call this
what?
sacred art of 1, 2, 3, not it.
Not
it.
Not too bad, Anna. You're it.
Sure,
No.
I'll do it.
Luckily, no one's it today.
Thank God.
So, last point when we had Pyrrhus in our party, you guys had completed the Tomb of Nargrim Steelhand and were going over the remnants of the loot and deciding to chop off Gochen's hand in order to place the hand on him. Well, you guys had some downtime after that, and during Ava's descent into studies within the wagon as you traveled closer and closer towards your next destination, Shinneman's Fortune, the party had kind of devolved into a little bit of their own downtime. One of which, being a highlight for the party, being a arm wrestling match between Chompy and Gochen, to which Chompy had handily beaten the half-orc shifter. Not to too many people's surprise, but a little razzing from all those in audience.
Hey, those
After
little tiny arms are stronger than they look.
Yes, they are. After this moment of revelry, of course, some time had passed. You guys had about a day and a half or so of downtime just chilling in the cart. But that downtime did come to an end. And a somewhat abrupt one at that. It would appear that on your path towards the little village of Shinneman's Fortune, you came across the wrecked, remains of a cottage, a number of cottages, in fact. The party had decided to investigate the wreckage, hearing some remaining noise, and upon investigation came across what seemed to be a troll, still after the sounds of what was a young child, no older than maybe like 2, not even 1, maybe. Still an infant, swaddled in a bundle at best. For Dolgus, the age is very unclear. Pink skins all look the same in their fleshy pupa stage. That said, the party rescued the child, which they would later know as the granddaughter of one of the councilwomen of Shinneman's Fortune, Abria. You guys had handily dealt with the troll and made your way into Shinneman's Fortune proper to find that not only were the cottages on the path to the village under siege, but the village itself had taken some assault from these trolls and giants. You had met with one of the alderwomen, Strya Crumb, who was the grandmother of the rescued infant, taking some stock of the town and the issues that had plagued it. The party did a little bit of assisting where they could, and attempted to kind of get a general look at how things were. Athena came to know that this was a place for retired veterans of military forces ranging from the Knights of Lastwall to the Rangers of Nirmathas and a few other factions, all told, each seeking a purposeful retirement location where they could play out the rest of their days and spend a quiet time with their families doing some resource gathering for local lands, be it ores or be it lumber. Shinneman's Fortune was a place where funded retirees could still find purpose in their lives without being disturbed by the humdrum of cities abroad. A place that Augustine seemed to have funded a number of individuals as some sort of reconciliation. It's also the place where Ethna had come to learn that her former mentor, at one point, had both a husband and a child, who now both lay buried in this very village. A close contact of Augustine's, Taram Shinneman, the one whose namesake holds for this village, was one of those who had been captured and stolen away into the valleys to the south. The giants reported to have made threats to make a return once they had what they wanted this time around. With some requests to the party, it was made very clear that if nothing was done, then Shinneman's fortune may befall yet a further worse fate than they currently remain dead. While they're all tested veterans, the might of giants and trolls en masse is not something to easily defend against. They're used to the local, one, here or there. They're used to animals being rampant and having to defend their livestock, but when you get a rain of boulders sent upon your cottages and your youths picked up like, cattle, kind of gets a bit too much for any one group of retirees. And so they bequeathed your aid, to which the party had decided to take a rest, despite expending minor resources in the encounter with the one troll they came across at the cottage earlier, and whatever minor assistance they gave to the citizenship of Shinneman's fortune. This was, of course, met with a little bit of flack from your swashbuckling bard Roddy, to which the responses were levied that no one necessarily cared about a traitor to one's own town, and that he basically had an enchanting, attitude. To which, after the party came to rest and woke the next day, said bard was no longer around. The party gathered themselves in order to take a preliminary glimpse at surveying the area, only to find a skirmish outside of town, not more than a few miles at best, and some approaching, quite frantically at that, villagers of Shinneman's fortune, claiming that they had been trying to evade recapture from their prior captors and had noted a particularly dangerous cyclops, possibly an Etten, further along the way, that some crazy man with a falcata not too dissimilar to Ethna's had done something to convince it to head deeper into the mountains, which gave them their chance to escape, and had decided to plunge further into the wilderness ahead in order to rescue those that he could, it seems. The party was left in hot pursuit after the fact, as Ethna and Sylph had pressed forward with great pace. So that is where session left off last. Did Pierce have any questions for anything that might have been sorted out in the in-between? Anything Ava would have been doing during her downtime or response to this situation?
Nobody had anything to craft. You wouldn't really have done anything in particular other than read through spell books. No response from Ava yet.
Okay. Well, I did promise a tale at the top of this session, so I believe that we'll go ahead and slip into a little bit of a flashback. as the party had taken their own actions during the Hope Knife ceremony for Halgra at the beginning of our adventure. Once all of the celebrations had been done and had, Roddy and his brother Jake had returned to a rooftop of a supply house near the Rambo House, overlooking the quiet corners of Chernal. The evening after the Hope Knife ceremony, lanterns swayed gently in the streets below, casting long shadows. Music still floating from distant strings and drums, and the scent of roasted boar and spilled mead hung thick in the warm air. Roddy would think to himself this evening, if there's one thing that Chernau does right, it's nights like this. One of those nights where wine was just sweet enough, the stars were just bright enough, and for once, his brother wasn't fussing over schedules or the weight of his next patrol. Both brothers sat shoulder to shoulder on the flat rooftop, worn blanket beneath them where a wineskin was passed back and forth. Jake had leaned back, one ankle over his knee, with eyes skyward. Roddy had been mid-rant about the unfair advantages of orcish cheekbones, which had prompted a rare laugh from Jake. I'm just saying. I've written entire sonnets for Brynja. Meanwhile, you hand over a report on market fraud, and she looks at you like you painted her the moon. Maybe she just likes men who finish what they start, Jake would offer dryly. Low blow, little brother. Roddy would grin, kinda nudging him on the arm, tossing a crust of bread at him. She was supposed to fall for the poet. You just reasoned her into your arms. Jake looked away for a moment and gave a small sigh. You know I'm gonna ask her to leave with me, right? After this next investigation's finished. I heard Lastwall's hiring again. There's talk of forming a special division, civic investigation, not just military policing for once. Roddy blinked surprisingly. Wait, you start a detective agency? Well, eventually. Kelber and Grath, maybe. Or just Grath. Depending on how it plays out. Look at you, baby brother. Bringing justice to the East. Roddy would smile with a tease to his voice, which would slowly fade after some time. You're really leaving? Jake would shrug. I love this town, Roddy, but everything I've done... There's not much left. I want something bigger than just surviving out here. Something that matters. Get that, right? Roddy would hesitate and nod. Yeah, I do. There was a moment of silence between the two of them. Something gentle and honest. Then, Roddy, perhaps not wanting the night to turn too serious, dug through his satchel and pulled out a small vial. Jake gave him a bit of a side-eye. What's that? Roddy grinned to his brother. Just a little assistance. So you actually sleep in tomorrow. Courtesy of a traveling apothecary. Harmless. Just knocks you out like a head full of wine. You wake up late, Ruby chews your ass out, and I get to pretend like I've been on shift since dawn. Classic older brother shenanigans. Jake raised an eyebrow. Roddy? It's just for fun. You'll be fine. Sleep it off, get pie thrown in your face in public, everyone laughs. You know, like we used to, before everything got too serious. Jake stared at the vial and Roddy's hands and sighed for a moment before giving his older brother a chuckle. All right. But you're cleaning my boots for a week. Roddy, with almost a jubilant grin, just nodded and said, "Deal," as he poured the vial into both his and Jake's wineskin, giving it a swish and a shake before pouring a little cup for him and for Jake. To Brynja, to Lastwell, and to sleeping in for once in your damn life. The evening would continue with laughter and drink as the moon rose in the sky. Roddy eventually made a joke about naming the detective agency Roddy & Co., but Jake just kind of groaned at it. Eventually, his brother's head nodded once and twice, and soon he was snoring gently under a blanket. Roddy sat beside him, dozing off not too long after, but enough so to get his brother back to the abode that he had rented for the evening. He knew his recent dispute with his father over the topic of leaving had left them in a bit of straits. So Jake decided to spend some time at the Ramble House, as he was wont to on his nights where it was just easier to clear his head in midst of investigation. He looked at his brother, hero, his rival, his friend. For the first time in a long time, felt like they were getting that spark of youth they had once upon a time. There was a smile, a rare moment of concedence from his brother. A shared laugh. He had no idea in the morning everything would fall apart. Just
Damn,
past
that was
dawn, at the Ramble House, pale light filtered through the thin shutters, illuminating dust in the air. The festival sounds were long since gone, placed by early morning stillness. And it would be the ushering of, the light that kind of broke Roddy's, own slumber. He awoke with a dry mouth, and the last taste of red wine and laughter still clung to his tongue. He sat up in the small cot of his own room within the ivory hall, groggy but alert. The dosage that he had given him and his brother was a minor one, a sleep aid at best. But he knew he had patrol to get to. He was sure that his brother would probably yet still be awake, ever the early riser, despite his aid, only to find that Jake was not there at their designated post for when patrol began. Shit, he thought. He plodded around and looked for those that would know where Jake would have been hanging around for early morning breakfast. No dice. So he decided to head towards the Ramble House to check in, see if he actually did sleep in. That was the joke, after all. That was the joke. Roddy would bolt down the hallway, boots still kind of loosely placed, his, outfit kind of hastily donned, so that way he was not late for his own shift. And he would eventually come to the door where he knows his brother resided. Gave a knock. No answer. He tried the handle. Locked. Roddy felt a bloom of unease in his chest. Jake didn't lock doors. He never locked his door in the Ramble House. Jake? Roddy said in a low voice, now much quieter, attempts not to wake the other residents. Pressed his forehead against the wood. Don't do this, this is just a laugh. Tell me I got played, please. Looked around, no one else was around. In an effort to make sure that he wasn't being played, he slowly picked the lock to the door and made his way in. Roddy didn't wait. He stepped through the door, only to see a sight he wished he hadn't. Jake was lying in his bed, eyes open, glassy, staring at nothing. The sheets soaked with blood. His throat slit. Arms slit. Roddy couldn't breathe. He was at his brother's side in an instant, grabbing and shaking him gently, checking for a pulse, anything to indicate that this was recent. No, Jake, come on, please, it's a prank. This is a prank. Wake up. Gods. His fingers shook with just absolute terror. There was nothing. Only silence. None steps. Voices. Someone had heard the minor disturbance, and up came Cham Laringfast, looking into the room, checking on the disturbance, and upon seeing the visage, screamed out in absolute terror. As Roddy was a member of the Blackened Blades, she made sure to head to get other guards, as Roddy called for assistance. Every moment from that point forward, he heard it all, but it was like it was underwater, distant, unreal. He backed into the corner of the room, hands shaking, as Omos Frum entered the vicinity and did a once-over, stopping by, seeming to attempt to console, but also in his own merit of distress. Blood on his sleeves, on his fingers, his brother's. He remembered the wine, the dose, diluted, barely enough to make even a child fully drowsy. Roddy had drunk some himself and was sure it was safe. He was fine, and he had slept lightly, dreamt, but Jake... This didn't make sense. It wasn't until much later, as the PCs had begun their own investigations, at his own behest, his own bequeath, that it had come to fruition. Oil of Taggett, pure, undiluted. Something that could knock out a horse. Jake had been fully sedated, murdered in his sleep, not the suicide that people wanted to make it seem to be. No chance to fight back. With this revelation, Roddy's heart broke in silence. Because he knew where it had come from. He had trusted Screed. It was a contact from a friend. And always was it that he had this soft spot for half-orcs. He'd written them ballads, tried to make those of town who had held even a remote amount of anger towards them to see sympathy, to see reason. He had asked for a prank, because he'd been naive enough to think that the worst that could come from it was a bruised ego, and maybe a morning of boots to polish for him. But this was murder. His brother's murder. And he delivered the blade. Not directly, but in trust, in foolishness, in kindness offered to the wrong man. So Roddy said nothing. Told no one about the vial, about Screed, about the dose that was not the one he gave. Because he knew what they'd say, what his father would say, what Ruby would say. That it was his fault. That no one would believe it was someone else's hand. That Jake Grath had died because of him. And maybe they'd be right. So Roddy took the weight. Took the shame. Took the silence. And buckled his heels in and for once decided to get serious. Within the dusk, after the heroes had delivered their final knowledge of all that had taken place in Jake's death, delivering the hope knife that had been left within the old church to Iomedae, to discovering the details about Screed and possibly some insurrection that was going to transpire within Ternal. Roddy was given charge of his own task force in order to push back the giant and the orcs that had corralled it towards the city. A fate he had brought upon his home, town he loved indirectly. Just past dusk, the air above the Hope Spring was still full, with smoke settling after much of the battle had subsided. Cracked stones stained red, waters that ran sluggishly with both mud and blood. The sun had dipped low, casting long shadows over the Hope Spring where steam curled in the silence over reddened waters. The light breeze stirred ash and the scent of wet iron. Roddy stood alone among the corpses. His men. His. Lay still, scattered like broken dolls across the rocks. A few still clutched weapons. One had a hand extended, fingers curled as if reaching for help that never came. He knew each of them, by name, by laugh, by what they'd written home about. Now, they were stories no one would get to finish. And there, like some obscene monument to failure, lay the giant. Its body mangled under blows from Ava's magic, Athena's blade, and Darlin's spikes. The damage that even the goofball Gochin had done could be seen for all to smell. Sylph's haunting verse still echoed in Roddy's ears, and the magic his words driven for each of his companions to succeed. Dolgus, still staring down at the still corpse of his T-Rex companion, griefed in the aftermath of the battle himself. Roddy stared down at the pool, his reflection staring back. A man with blood on his cheeks, and none of it from glorious battle. A captain? No. He'd been nothing but a shadow in a dying charge, issuing commands half-formed by grief-clouded memory. Every move he'd made in that fight had been wrong. Jake's voice echoed faintly in his head, full of teasing warmth. You keep looking like that, and someone's gonna think you care about what the town thinks. He did. Too much. Too little. He didn't really know anymore. Truth stung deeper than any wound. They cleaned up his mess. Again. Roddy observed the party. Ava stood over the edge of the spring, rope torn and stained, sleeves rolled, expression unreadable. She hadn't wept. She never did. But her hands still trembled when she, regarded her own magic. Gochin was laughing at something Sylph had said, half out of breath and half out of nerves. His shirt was bloodied, his nose broken, and he, charged the giant with more heart than Roddy had been able to manage all that evening. Darlin sat and preened his armor in the way that he needed, preparing for yet another battle to come. Depths of beneath the Hope Spring awaited. Dolgus simply remained silent, still brushing the ash off of Chompy's snout with his fingers. The beast had gone down buying them time. Roddy's time. A life traded for his hesitation. And Athena, she simply stared, looked around. Not once did she speak, but her eyes burned with a fire that understood the grief a little too well. Something that unsettled Roddy, like he was staring at a reflection of himself in the moment. He looked down again at the bodies, his men. Brave, stubborn, and loyal. They deserved far better. You gave me command, he whispered to no one, and I got them all killed. His knees had hit the mud after the heroes had left, but he didn't cry. Not fully. He stayed there, as the ash and dust and the darkness of the moment had taken hold. Others had come to clean up for the relief as the heroes delved deep to finish the mess he'd begun once and for all. The land lay soaked to the bone. In his guilt, Ash, he listened to the water lap at the edges of all that he had failed to protect. He didn't deserve the forgiveness he'd so desperately wanted. And he wasn't going to get it either. It wasn't until a few days later, the great chamber of the Ivory Hall, where Trunau's seat of leadership remained. Its pale stone walls glimmered faintly in the early morning, stark and unyielding. The banners of town hung heavy and still. The air was too quiet. Roddy stood alone, until eventually a few guards came to his flank. In entered both his father, Cursed Grath, the leader of the Blackened Blades, and Ruby of the Smoking Guns, chief defender of Trunau. There was no audience, there was no council. Just these three. Roddy held his hands behind his back. While he wasn't clapped in irons, the weight of the last few days certainly felt as cold as them. His shoulders were squared by habit, but not out of confidence. His uniform hung wrong on him, empty. Roderick Grath, Ruby began, her voice cutting through the stillness like a drawn pistol. You stand before Trunau to face judgment for your actions surrounding the death of your brother, Jake Grath, and your failed command at the Hope Spring. Roddy didn't reply, at least not yet. We have reviewed the testimonies of the adventuring party, the alchemical traces, and the events leading up to your development with the cave giant. We know this is... Ruby kind of took a step forward. You acquired diluted oil of Taggart from Screed Gorewillow under the premise of playing a prank. That dose did not kill your brother. You even drank from the same flask and woke unharmed. Roddy nodded faintly, the smallest flicker. But another dose, a full one, was found upon his water jug, one you did not give him, one placed after your prank succeeded, and that dose was the one that set the stage for your brother's death. She furrowed her brow. You knew something was wrong that morning, and you said nothing. You suspected Screed, and still you said nothing. Cursed had still not spoken. He didn't need to. His silent gaze was practically a scream to Roddy's ears, view. You could have helped us catch his killer. You could have spared Trunau months of trauma. We could have prevented this attack. You could have stood tall. Ruby said, somewhat quieter now. But instead you let the lie fester. Roddy looked up. His mouth was dry, but the words came out anyway. I didn't know what else to do. I thought if I said anything, they'd stop looking. You'd all stop looking because you'd think it was me, that I'd kill him. He looked over to his father. And I would never hurt him. Godspot, I loved him. He was the best of us. Cursed simply raised his hand. Just a single motion. And Roddy stopped. Ruby continued. You led brave men against a monster. I trusted you. They trusted you. And you hesitated. You faltered. You cracked under your guilt and watched them die. And it was only the adventurers that stopped that thing. It's clear to me you are not wicked, Rodigrath, but you are a fool. And fools in your position get good people killed. Roddy simply bowed his head. His voice was thick now. I never meant for any of this. Any of it. For a long moment, nothing was spoken. And then Cursed finally stood. The weight of decades in war and grief, and now in judgment, hung heavy upon his shoulders. The loss of his wife, decades before, the loss of his son, not more than a week ago. You were my son, he said. The word landed like a hammer to Roddy, and he was your brother. I raised you to be better than this. Jake died, and you turned inward. You were afraid, and that fear cost this town lives. Roddy couldn't bear to look at his father further. Cursed simply exhaled sharply like he was trying to breathe out fire. I can't carry your shame for you. No one can. But whatever Ruby decides, you don't belong in Trunau. Ruby stood by to let the words hang for a moment, the silence to dig in, before she spoke again. Rodigrath, you are hereby stripped of your rank and title. Your name is removed from the roster of the Blackened Blades, your banners burned. You are banished from Trunau until such time as the Chief Defender calls you home. You may walk in the shadow of those who earned their place, if they'll have you. Or you can disappear into the world, nameless and broken. Such is your choice. Roddy didn't protest. He simply bowed once. I'll go. Ruby nodded. Good. And Roddy, if I so much hear as you've uttered another lie to save those around, she ghosted her hand over one of her pistols. Roddy raised both palms, slow and open. No more lies. Not for me. Then get out of my hall. He turned and, without a look to either of them, walked out beneath the fading banners of Trunau. No longer a son, no longer a defender, no longer anything but a man trying to outrun the shape of his own shadow. And running he kept going. He would eventually travel with the party, far distance to Red Lake Fort, not to be anything more than a supporting actor. But now in this moment, where flashes of familiarity, grief, sorrow, he couldn't abide his own conscience. At the daggers levied against him once more by those that he had continued to be in shadow, he left in the night, trying to do something, anything. Couldn't convince himself it was for him, not at this stage. No, he only wished to make a small difference, if anything. But what would that sow for him? Only time will tell. Finn. Okay, cool. Everyone's
See
asleep.
Chompy creeping up
No,
behind him
Did
to
you say
lick him.
scene?
Yep.
Yes.
He
Yeah,
said,
but he said
Okay,
that.
yeah,
You
that
said
was
Finn.
really good. That was real. I thought you said like something else to keep the story going, so I didn't want to speak up and ruin
Yep.
anything.
No.
That was
So what
really
was that? I missed the. I think I missed the start of that. But was that like some sort of flashback, retelling of things from
Yeah,
Roddy
it
or
was
something?
basically a flashback of
Right.
all Roddy went
Dolgus still
through.
thinks he should die because Dolgus doesn't really know or believe any of that.
But that's kind of cool to see like his perspective on what was happening leading up till now. What was going through his mind during all of it. It's pretty cool.
Trumpy is still going to use him for amusement.
Yep.
We must save
If we
Marty.
find him alive.
Oh, he'll
He's
be
probably
alive.
dead.
No.
Yeah, he's probably dead. He's all dead.
No.
Yeah,
Wait, where is Roddy?
Then we'll
He
stuff
ran
him.
away.
He ran off.
Oh, he
We'll
ran
stuff
off.
Roddy.
Because of some comments.
What? There were no
What
comments made.
comments?
Oh no, he wanted to rush ahead to do some saving, whereas we weren't in any position for a fight just yet. I remember. Wasn't that what happened?
Y'all had
Yeah.
spent like 2 spells and like not even a lot of hit points, and then decided to go for a full rest again.
I know. What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
We let this happen to Roddy. We need to save him.
Nah.
Oh well. If he dies, he dies. We can say he
God
died
damn it.
properly at the very least.
But I owed y'all a story, so there you go. Story time's over.
That was really cool.
Lovely, 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 lovely.
And no one had to do recap this time.
Thank God.
Hey, recap's fun.
It is not fun.
I did my job, I'm sorry.
It's not fun when you're forced on when it's forced on you. It can be fun when you take it on yourself. So.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I don't mind doing it. If I have to
I
do
just-
recap, that's fine.
I just like hearing the players recap because it shows me what people remember or if like anyone's actually invested in the story.
I'm invested in Chompy.
Yeah.
I've invested into the whole story. This adventure has been very fun.
That's
Also, I'd like to
realistic.
remind you that Douglas has an intelligence of 8. His memory probably isn't the best. Then
I
again,
know, but
he's a lizard folk,
recap
so, I mean,
recap is mostly for players, not characters.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
So
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I've seen that side. of
Alright,
Roddy's
I
really
didn't
cool.
finish healing up Chompy from the rest. Okay. I'll go ahead and do that.
so.
Like he wanted to play just a prank on the town by letting his brother sleep in. Like that was the whole point.
Yup.
Yep.
So he just wanted to, okay. So they wanted to just make his brother look like he was a fool, like for once.
Yup.
That was it, and then all that shit went down.
Yup.
That's crazy. For some reason, I don't remember the skull, like the outcasting. I don't remember that. Like,
It wasn't
I know.
public for everyone.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't public. No.
Oh,
We just,
The
we just got to see the results. We didn't see the actual outcasting.
Yup.
that's cool. Okay, yeah, I enjoyed
And
all
Douglas
that.
wouldn't have been in a mood to care because Chompy had died.
Yes.
Don't you remember?
Yeah, because we had to res him.
So yeah.
Poor Chompy. He's still somewhat afraid of giants.
Oh, I know. I can't wait till that becomes full like fruition.
I can't wait till he's as big as the giants.
I mean he's
well, as
he's
big as most
big-
of the giants.
Yeah. He's large
Down
size.
five.
So.
Will like a
Downsized, it's
dragon
going to
still
eventually
make
become
him
hard too.
power?
Maybe.
Some of them.
Man, so Chompy just doesn't
Gargantuan is the
figure it out.
maximum T-Rex size normally, and like the Colossal's the actual maximum size category in the game.
So
And
it would
that's
take a
what we're
colossal
doing
thing
with that.
to scare him.
Like, well, I mean, once he gets there, yeah. But I mean, by that point, I think he'll have worked through his fear because it's going to happen somewhere along the story, I think. But we'll see.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for all of the things.
I think I vaguely recall Zeno mentioning it was something that Chompy would have a chance to work through as a sort of character thing on the way.
Mm-hmm. So far, he's been conquering a lot of the things that have been his size so far, so we'll see.
He also needs to Well, what does it actually do? Give him a penalty against things that are bigger than him?
Basically gives him the shaken thing again, penalty against things that are bigger than him.
He needs to eat a certain number of things that are bigger than him. Got it.
That could definitely be helpful on that way. But he's got to be the cause of them going down.
Yeah, obviously. I just picture Chompy who being whatever size category he is at the time, but with a belly twice the size of the rest of him, because it's swollen from all the things he's eating.
So that
I'll
being
always
said,
remember Chompy being that javelin that destroyed that plant monster.
The javelin? What?
Yeah, was
You
it
jump-
Chompy that jumped off the ledge and just like belly flopped?
Oh
right on that-
yes, I do remember this.
He turned himself into a like his own javelin.
Did
That shit was
falling
cool.
damage to it and jumped into it at the same time.
Oh yeah, that was sweet.
Weren't some of you like grappled by that plant monster?
Mhm.
Yojin was. He was actually inside the monster.
Yep.
Ah yes, I can picture Chompy's inner voice now. Only I'm allowed to eat my friends, you monster. But now we gotta go save Roddy.
So
And maybe
Well-
make him polish some boots when we save him.
Yep.
You know, the thing he wanted to do after he got caught with his prank.
if only people knew about that.
You're right, we're gonna have to make him do something else because we don't know about that specifically. All in favor of whatever something else? I have no idea.
That said, you guys had come across the scene where there was an encounter with supposedly some sort of one-eyed giant in the area. Some regard as a cyclops, could be a net. Where the forest is kind of like branched off, and huge trees have been kind of waylaid and spread around. Some looking like they got hit with some sort of like blasting force. Others that look like they've just been chucked around. The villagers had noted that they saw the man matching Roddy's description heading southwest, further into the valley, whereas the giant cyclopean creature was heading southeast somewhat. So if you were to follow said path, you'd have to keep on a trek. And by which I would require some checks for those that want to lead the path.
I think. Why do I not have any? I have to reload the page. I was thinking that it was just gonna load in eventually, but it never has. My whole like sidebars and stuff with the dice, and
I'm sorry.
I can see the map and everyone move around, so I was fine with it during story time. But like now that it's like game.
Is it collapsed? Because there
Right.
might be a little arrow at the top right that you could like expand.
Once my page reloads, I'll see.
So
I can't wait for a better upgrade.
mhm.
Web page isn't responding. Wait for it to respond.
Sorry about that. That was a call. One of my family members is in the hospital right now. I was worried they were going to have to amputate his finger.
Oh,
Oh,
are
jeez.
they okay?
Yeah, it was swollen up real bad like a couple of nights ago, and then in the morning, like, he went into the hospital after getting sent there by the nurse at the office. He had to actually go to work and then go to the nurse at the office because they're riding him pretty hard, and he didn't want it to be something they could fire him over. So he went to the nurse first to get her to send him to the hospital because then they couldn't fire him over it.
Huh.
But yeah, it was real bad. It was almost twice the size of his other fingers.
Holy crap!
That's crazy.
In any case, we're following Roddy. Is Chompy sniffing around for him?
Well, whoever wants to lead the overall charge, you'll be able to do so with some survival checks.
I think Edna
Survival
ran ahead
checks.
first,
Yeah, Edna was running ahead first.
so I think she's leading.
Yep, I think Sylph was hot on her heels too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Leave it
I
pretty
saw her
closely.
run, so I ran.
Skill.
Chompy
I'm on
has
the web page.
scent on that. I'll go ahead and roll mine as well. Boop. I don't know why I'm walking. I could be riding Chompy, probably.
Nope, not.
As it gets bigger, I might just do that. Just because it's easier. I can
Yeah.
just cast buffs and summon spells from on top of Chompy.
Could you roll survival check for me, Nick? My
Um,
page is
what?
not loading.
41 days ago.
I cast
41
summon
days
lazy
ago.
butt.
Chompy 50. Okay, so there we go. Just
Well, Anna, well, they're not going to find anything that's going on. It's just not loading. Like,
Oh.
what are you gonna like figure out?
why are you still shaking? I don't think you've taken that off since that. So let me turn off your buffs. Skills. Okay, there we go. I was about to say, I knew your wisdom was low, but I didn't think it was that low. Normal. There you go, Sylth. You rolled an 11.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. Pretty boy. Pretty boy.
Let's try this.
Is that all the rolls we're looking for today?
Yeah, I'm not trained in survival.
No problem.
You're
Ava's following the group who's much better at survival.
Luckily, between Chompy and Dulgus, and surprisingly, it's not doing too bad. The three of them kind of are able to follow the general trail that Roddy's scent kind of gives, and also the footprints of recent travel from other giant presence. You would still be moving downstream, and you could tell that another group of giants is likely passed on decently ahead by this point, as the tracks have dried up, likely over the course of the evening. But some signs seem to indicate that a number of humanoid-shaped figures are being dragged behind them, at least half a dozen bound. The giants seem to have left somewhat of a sloppy trail that could be easily followed with those checks. It is with those checks that you can find the distinct imprints of more recent foot travel of a humanoid size. Those that have probably paid attention to Roddy's usual wear could probably tell the markings of Morninghawk's finest in the bottom of his sole.
Yep. These are the prints of a well-worn pair of Air Jordans. Recognize them anytime.
So I was right. He did sell out his town. Air Jordans.
No. That said, about an hour or so after, you would be able to trek up a little further and see some remaining smoke rising from the distance. If the party would like, you can roll some perception checks in order to take a gander at what was ahead.
Sure, even though I got a 1 in that too. Hey,
Perception checks.
Perception.
for
All right,
fighters.
Chumpy, let's do some perception. Some perception. Of the mightiest of perceptions. Okay, first there's Logus. Huzzah! Then there is Chumpy. What y'all? And casually beating everyone other than Ethne, which is Chumpy.
Uh-oh, we lost someone.
David. I'm not sure what.
No.
He fell asleep.
He's
I knew
getting
it.
back on. He said, hold on.
Time to whippeth the David.
He hates us. I knew it. I knew it.
Get
He
the
hates
riding
me 'cause
crop.
I want to send to
Get the
Roddy.
riding crop.
No
Who the fuck
whipping.
has a riding crop?
No whipping.
I'm not saying anything.
I have no idea what y'all get up to. I'm sorry.
No, we have no horses, so no riding crop.
Hmm. We know
There's
who
plenty
you
of
are.
farms
Why
around
you would have one.
Owasso.
Yeah, horses.
There's plenty of
Yeah.
like farms
Yeah,
around
horses
Owasso. What are you
with a
talking
riding
about?
crop. What is that?
Horses,
There are no
yeah.
horses and there's no red rooms, so sorry.
Just
Don't
because
be
you
a
paint it
rotary.
blue doesn't mean it's not.
That's not what the tiny room in the basement's for. I know that you guys have that hidden room behind that little itty bitty room just past the stairs. Used to be like an office.
So we keep Dave tied up.
You
when
mean
he's
the
bad
furnace
boy.
room?
There's like a little panel behind like the desk area
Oh,
that leads
God.
into a small room.
Oh, God. David, what are you doing that I don't know about? Because I don't know
I will
about this
press
room.
the forbidden buttons during my free week of Nitro. Don't make me do it. I will do it. I'll press this button right now.
Oh shit.
All right,
I'll
children.
push the stage one first.
Oh, God.
I will press the big red one too if you want me to, or if you don't want me to.
My brain now hurts.
It's gonna hurt more.
Oh, God.
I didn't do it. Don't punish me because of them.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Well, I got gifted Nitro for a week by Discord because apparently I used to buy it and it's Discord's birthday or some shit, and that means I can use all these crazy sound buttons from all the other servers I'm in, some of which are very messed up.
I see this. Oh my.
Some are just classics.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, that's
All right,
fine.
Obama. Whatever you say.
I restarted my whole computer and it's still not loading.
Try using
hurry up
Chrome.
and
Stop
load in.
using
Okay,
Edge.
settle down, okay?
Oh yeah, don't use Edge.
Please stop using
Foundry
Edge.
hates Edge.
That's why it's like,
Why would you be using Edge?
Only boomers use Edge.
No, even boomers generally have a better idea than to use Edge. It's like pre-boomers, I guess. I didn't think they were still around.
My work doesn't let me use anything except Edge.
well, that's
That's
work.
because they have a contract with Microsoft.
Mm-hmm. With teens and all that.
It is true.
Bad. Bad.
Sorry, one of the servers I'm in. I think it's Brittany's server actually. We have one for when like she rolls a 1 and we roll a 1 on something and it's just a squeaky hammer.
Oh, wait, that I know the thing for this. One moment. Where is it? Loop history.
Mr. Grumpy Kitty.
Oh, there we go. There you go, squeaky hammers.
Oh my goodness, Luke! Get ready for cat action here with Positively Hysterical, which is bringing back the squeaky hammer.
The deadliest weapon ever seen in
Hey,
combat
Mr.
robotics
Button Down
history.
Roddy.
It's certainly one of the loudest.
Are we
Sure.
hunting them? Do we have to?
Yes.
Can't we just leave them to die out in the woods?
How do I not
No.
have Google Chrome on my computer?
Because you haven't downloaded it.
Plebeian.
Damn. Why you gotta be that way? Okay. Yeah. That's somewhat accurate. It works for me. Good enough for me. So let's see what the results of the rolls are so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm missing 6, but that's because David's still getting loaded in. That's fine. That's okay. Let me just do this. Click on Sylph again. Let's roll this
hate my
perception check. You're okay, buddy. We got you. Your perception's actually a really high bonus, so see what you get. $24. Real respectable. What's this? I'll go ahead and set the set dressing while you're getting loaded back in, buddy.
Okay.
So, with the results of the perception checks, Ethna, Dolgus, and Sylph can all tell that there is a small campfire in the distance, in a small clearing surrounded by a nice ring of trees and other mountainous detritus. It seems that there are a number of larger figures that are sitting around this campfire, almost arguing amongst themselves. In the distance, however, you can see that there are a number of human captives slowly slinking their way away, as some of them are kind of rubbing their hands together across their wrists, almost as if they've recently managed to get themselves free and are taking particular use of the chaos that's been ensued, as it seems the larger figures are paying them almost no mind. At one point, one of the larger figures, now you get a better look, Dolgus, Ethna, and Sylph can make local checks in order to discern more about these creatures, as one of them
Got it.
takes a club and bonks the other across the head.
I don't got it.
I don't know if I have it. Do I? Oh, I do. Heh.
Shelby has a rank though. We'll go ahead and roll him.
In local?
No, I wish he did though. I was just messing.
That'd be hilarious.
If I ever awaken him, he'll get like a little monocle, and then he'll have like ranks and knowledge skills.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to get him breaks and knowledge skills, we just need to get him a headband, right? Headband of intelligence. Make him a little bit smarter.
Intelligence 4 versus Intelligence 2 is a big difference.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because Intelligence 3 is where you become sapient.
Yes, a headband of intelligence would in fact give a animal companion the ability to speech, for one, because it gives it linguistics.
Hey,
And
Yay.
I don't think that means it gives it the ability to speak the language so much as the ability to
your local,
understand the
then.
language, because
yeah.
you know, still wouldn't have like
Roll
normal
local.
ability
Yep.
to speak.
Good job,
Roll
Dave. You
local
figured
if
it
you've
out.
got
We
it.
won't have to sell you off.
Yeah, we actually can sell off Roddy. No, we can't sell off Roddy instead because we don't have a Roddy.
We sell off Beliana's dead corpse.
Yep, and we make Jonah do it because you know it's his sister. That he failed. Goodness.
Damn. little too far away. You guys aren't able to really collect much in the ways of knowledge on these creatures. But what you can see is that the 4 large creatures that are around this fire have started to squabble amongst themselves and are now actively bashing each other with their clubs.
Holy shit.
As you see that
I'm gonna
there's
make a
some sort of
D100
an
roll.
argument.
Question, important question. Are they bigger than Chompy?
These look to be about the same size as Chompy at best.
Excellent. And then I will go with the results of the D100 roll. Ahem. And to those that can understand Chompy in the middle of that, it's not like a roar of aggression so much as a roar of
As you bellow out your roar, each of these ogres don't seem to pay it too much mind, surprisingly, as they continue to bicker and squabble, grunting in giant at each other, almost as if they're arguing over something. To Ethna, Sylph, and Dolgus, do any of you speak giant, as you were the ones who rolled the highest perceptions?
I think I do. I think I speak giant. Hang on.
Gotta find it.
I
Yes,
speak
I do.
Draconic, Druidic, Orc, and Common, and Dwarven. So,
I have giant.
no, I don't.
Okay.
Not even sure
Uh,
why I bothered to learn a
where do I look
pigskin
for
language.
what I can-
Attributes under language.
Yeah.
Attributes under language.
Second tab of attributes, and you speak common and celestial.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
No giants.
Yeah, I got Celestial, Common, Draconic, Elven, Giant,
Good
Sylvan?
God.
Sylvan? I don't know.
Sylvan.
There we go.
Sylvan is Fae.
Yep. Yeah, that's in classes, so, you know. If Ava were in this roster.
Classes with people that have like a racial thing
Yeah.
language for every 1 point. Then it's like, wow.
You're right. That said. No, you can tell that they are arguing over who's going to be able to eat the captives. And then a couple of them are going, no, we can't eat the captives. You know, Gristlecrack will get mad at us. And then there's another, but they look so tasty. I want to eat them now. And they're all bickering very fervently, almost too fervently. You are allowed a sense motive check if you would
Oh,
like
they've been.
one.
Roddy spelled them.
Skill. Sense motive, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Roll.
Clearly under some sort of enchantment, at least 2 of them are, and they're stirring the pot greatly. One might believe they could be under some form of suggestion.
She'll tell the others.
But yes, the T-Rex has made their, made the presence of your party known, and while 2 of these ogres have not, paid mind to your approach, the other 2 have, been pointing, but big thing over there! We don't have time to eat!
With a tongue lolling out the side of his mouth comically, Chompy's going to begin probably getting ready to start rushing forward.
So, there is no real battle map for this, one. But, let's go ahead and drag some tokens out onto the field for you guys. So, let's go ahead and grab party. Mm-hmm. I'll leave Gochin out of this for now. Unless he's probably hanging back watching your rear. Grab the Chompster. Oh no, where'd Chompy go? Nope, he doesn't want to show up. Oh, there we go.
I'll be dead.
Chompy just don't want to go.
No, Chumpy want food.
Yep.
He saw like a randomly placed meat vendor just sitting peacefully by the side of a road with like 3 cows worth of meat.
That's very descriptive.
I'm sorry, that's 1 cow's worth of. No, it's all gone now. And he's screaming, "My meat!" like that cabbage merchant from, Avatar.
Mm-hmm. Let's get the enemies out there. Oh, don't do that. Do that. Back. There. Oh, that's strange. Oh, I guess we'll just use that. That'll be fine. One, 2, 3, and 4. I'll just go ahead and do. No, don't want that. I want this. There you go. Up. Combat.
Yeah.
Select. Not in combat. And let's roll the NPCs. Huzzah.
Why am I still injured?
I don't remember you guys having new combat since taking your full night's sleep, so y'all should be rested.
That's why I was confused.
Y'all should have your buttons hit for full rest.
Yep.
Because y'all have not done anything or spent any real resources so far. I mean, you didn't really spend resources from the other day, but you know how it goes. Ava, you were up first. You were a bit further back than your other party, but you were still equally with, the ability to move up and do some stuff. I'd say that the clearing from where your party was hanging out was at least 60 feet away, with you maybe being 70 feet.
Okay, so we're all within, like, 30
Yeah,
feet
you
of
guys
each
are
other.
all still, collected around each other.
Okay. Paste.
Beast.
Okay.
Chumpy gets a buff. Chumpy gets a buff. Chumpy
Best
gets
to
a
deal with them quickly.
You may also make me a knowledge check if you would like, Ava, now that you've kind of got a better look at the situation and sounds and grunts and all this stuff have been exchanged.
Local, you said?
Mm-hmm.
35.
Of course. She's got to do her job. These are ogres. Brutish humanoid giants. With that roll, yeah, you basically know most everything about these creatures. The lesser, cousins of giants. These creatures are fairly simple. They hit with great clubs, javelins. They don't really have any special features to write home about. They do have dark vision and low light vision, and have little buffed will and a little extra hit points on them for their pay grade. But other than that, they're not particularly skillful or, crazy out there. Honestly, they're weaker than even the cave giant that you guys fought back in Trunau. These are, all intents and purposes, mooks.
At this point, yes, and Chompy's gonna eat them all. Somehow. I don't know how. Maybe his stomach just has a portable hole in it. I don't know.
Nothing impressive. That's Eva's turn.
Ethna.
Lady Dash. Zing!
They are all gathered around a campfire and were bickering and had bonked each other a couple
Oh,
times.
campfire. If
Yep.
there was ever a time anyone bothered to actually prepare pyrotechnics, this would be a very good time to use it.
Oh, right. I should unpause the game. There we go. Sorry about that.
How dare you? I demand free experience.
No.
How far are we from them, by the way?
60 feet.
Okay. So haste to get there, sir. From the 30. Got it.
So
I suspect that Sylph and Ava kind of hung back that extra 10 feet because, the ranged members of the party.
yeah. She's gonna move forward. Oh, this is weird.
You want to charge up again, up at them?
Yeah.
Okay, you can close the distance between one with a move action thanks to haste. So feel free just to simply move your token up to whichever one you want to do the thwack.
That one. Probably should have declared.
Like them
before I
real
moved.
good.
Yeah. Should have enhanced before I moved. Oops.
Well, you moved, and reminder that your blade enhancement is a swift action, and swift actions do not provoke.
Okay. Well, then I want to enhance with
Sure.
Keen and smack him, I guess.
Keen and a +1, Keen and something else. What are we thinking?
Just Keen +1.
Okay.
For a second, hear you typing from across the room.
Sorry.
That's how loud your shit is.
Yeah, I was like, that is some loudness.
They complained about
angriest
mine.
email I've ever heard.
I have a new mic and it was angled down towards my keyboard for some reason.
Oh yeah, we can tell you're wearing a very heated email.
Oh yeah, just angry. That's going right to the manager.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, good. That will strike this this here ogre. So click and apply some damage. But it is still up with that strike.
Oh,
But a good strike it was. Wait a second. Oh wait, no. You're not one of those weapons. You're 17 to 20. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
This
yeah,
one.
you were.
Shit, I forgot to roll these ones as to which one was still under. Yeah, okay. So highs he's fine. Lows. Okay, so this one is under Pistons. I'm just gonna go ahead and mark that. You know what? We'll just mark him with confused just to make that easier. So let's go ahead and roll this. Oh yeah, okay. So in the scuffle, you small folk are charging up and beating up some of the other ones. The frenzied ogre looks over to his buddy. See, time to eat, and is going to go ahead and try to bonk his buddy here.
They're just gonna beat each other up while we're beating them up.
Nope.
Oh shit.
That's a miss.
Sylph is starting to scratch his head on this.
Oh, it's obvious. Bardic magic.
Ah, yes. Good thing Gochen's not here to have to roll a will save. Sylph, it's your turn.
Oh jeez. Poor guys.
Just aim and shoot.
They're so. Oh jeez. I'm gonna.
Still, if these are what Ethna said, and what Ava said, that they would eat you in a heartbeat.
So shoot
Don't
them.
feel sorry for them.
Shoot them.
And you did see captives.
Oh jeez.
Show them no mercy.
Oh, we're playing it like that. All right.
They are evil incarnate of the worst kind.
And they're yeah. And Ethna did report to you that they are talking about eating the captives.
So shoot them.
Jeez, guys, don't be dumb. Kill them all.
Oh, buddy.
Loot the bodies, figure it out later. But this one was innocent, a small baby. Yeah, but it's still evil.
You said we're 60 feet out.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's my range?
Your musket, 60 feet.
60 feet. Oh, perfect. All right, I'm gonna shoot a snowball out of my gun.
You know, pepper him with some balls, huh?
Yeah, get a little ball splash on him. On this guy right here.
Is it a yellow snowball? Does it taste like lemon?
All right,
Roddy,
so
this one's for you. Piss
I
ball in the face.
must go to my gun. Wait, do I roll my gun or do I roll the snowball?
You will need to roll your attack roll with your gun first. But let me ask you this before you do that. Are you getting closer before firing so that way they are within your touch range?
Oh, I didn't. I can move and then shoot and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Because
perfect.
you're delivering the snowball as a standard action through your gunshot.
All right, so I'm gonna go up 30 feet then.
No. So you'd be within 40. Good. Okay.
Yep.
So then you would pick your target and shoot your firearm first. If that hits, then your snowball gets added as a rider.
All right. Chose my target.
Yeah. You know, it's your homie in the seat, man. He's riding straight G with you.
So that is a 28, which will hit your target. And then that will go ahead and apply damage. Now you may go ahead and click your snowball. And hopefully it should roll damage for you. We'll ignore the attack roll on it.
Hey, 13 damage.
And 13 damage. That is a good chunk of damage. It is still up, but is that all that you would like to do with that shot there, Sylph?
What's that other thing that it's been a
Bewildered.
minute.
You
Your gun's a
have
bewilder.
Yep, you do have the ability to bewilder with your gun. It is 3 times per day. And it's when you make a successful attack with the weapon, in addition to dealing damage. You did deal damage.
You're back and you dash to the bathroom.
You can attempt to inflict the confused condition, but the one you shot, it looked like he bonked his buddy, so he might already be confused. Who
Yeah,
knows?
Yeah, I'm not going to use bewilderment on that one.
Okay.
What's the one that I do where I'd roll like the D4 and stuff? I mean, the 4 D10s.
That's your standard shot. That's your standard, your shot with the arcane strike, basically.
Yeah.
People mess up.
You're-
okay.
Yep, you use arcane missiles instead of your normal bullets. So that's your
Okay.
4th shot. But a solid round. You've put this creature to near death.
Nice.
Feel free to pass it along.
Dolgus.
Okay. The one Esada is attacking, do I have a clear line to it?
Not quite. I think she would still kind of be in the way for that. I'd argue that Chompy is not really in proper grid space, so you could probably mow right through the one directly across from you.
Okay, that'll work then. I'll just go after
So let me
this
just
one.
go ahead and shift Chompy down in front of Dolgus so it makes sense for a 1x4.
Alright, I'll move me over here. Make sure to target the right one. This is my CMB first. Sorry. Yeah.
Definitely more than enough.
Alright, so he takes 17 damage for me smacking into him and knocking him prone.
Correction, he takes 18 damage.
Oh, 18, that's right, I forgot he's giant. Ooh.
No.
Trying to remember all the shit I have to do since we haven't played in fucking a long time.
Sorry.
It's okay. And then I think it's... Yeah, so he's knocked prone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's... I can do... Darko Spike Destroyer, right? Yeah, swift action. That's right. Okay. And then swift action, trying to punch you. Go. Punch him with the spikes. Let's do it. Oh. Add the +2 onto there. I didn't put charge into that, so it'd be 24. So it'd be 25 to hit and 16 damage.
That would do. But you attacked yourself, so stop hitting yourself.
Because I had to target myself to move myself again.
Nice. 16 is down.
Go to sleep. Alright, that's my turn. Yay.
Wait. Dolgus and Chompy.
Oh, I didn't even know it was that ogre's turn. That's funny.
Well, you stopped a turn from even happening.
Oh, and you're dead. Oh well.
He
And
went
you're
to the
dead.
bathroom.
Womp womp. Again? How could he?
Yep.
I guess Chompy's now free, and we'll have to worry about him wanting to eat us one day when he's hungry.
Mhm.
Just keep giving him sausages. He'll be fine.
They're not that big of sausages.
You better start making bigger ones then.
I have returned.
There he is. It's your turn.
I said I was going to the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we know.
I'm just trying to figure out. I have been trying to look at. I realize I haven't even been using power attack this entire time for Chompy.
Nope.
Not since we moved to Foundry anyway.
Yeah, I keep
I'm
forgetting to
looking
go
at
into
the
my
attack,
thing.
but I see where it says the damage bonus and the critical multiplier, but I don't see where I just actually.
It's a checkbox option.
Yeah.
When you hit the attack roll button?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
well,
it-
in that case,
yeah.
so I don't need to enable a separate macro for it. That's good.
Right.
So-
Now,
Okay, I
you
just-
could go into the attack itself and make it so it's always active. But that
Yeah,
means
no,
you...
no, I-
yeah.
I'm just going to turn the damage bonus to a. Wait, will it scale the damage bonus on its own, or will I need to do that?
So there's a...
phone.
Yeah, there's just a checkbox button that says power attack, just like it says deadly aim or other things. And if you
Okay.
check that checkbox, it'll do scaling damage. You just gotta tell it, like, whether it's two-handed or one-handed.
Okie day, okie day. In which case, I will first target Chompy with Zeal spell buffing, because spell buffing is important. Just when he's about to run off head first into doing things. Doing Chompy things. Go Chompy, do Chompy things. And then Chompy is going to lock. Oh, wait, that one's already unconscious. That one's injured. That one is near death. That one is unharmed. Guess he's going to go after that one. Oop. And I will enable Chompy's Buffy buffs.
Yes.
Let us see how it works. As we have Chompy rush over with all the haste of haste.
Nom
That's
nom
how
nom nom nom.
Rawr. Nom 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 nom. Okay, where is it? Say power attack. Boop. Single attack.
Believe it or not, a 16 will still strike these creatures. And with a single bite, Chompy just devours the skull of this thing. The rest of his body just
Yay.
kind of falls flat on the ground. And you just hear a chomp, chomp, crunch, crunch bones just grinding upon his gnashing teeth.
I picture Chompy leaping mid thing and then just like shoving this guy's head and neck, and some of his shoulders into his mouth and chomping down in that one bite.
Yup. It's a clean chomp. Like, you did not only his full-blown hit points, but also his constitution in that damage. It also
no,
helps that
fire
he was
damage
bonked
means it's
early.
getting cooked. His meat's getting cooked as he bites it because of his amulet.
Mhm. Indeed. Chompy did real good.
Attaboy, Chompy. Attaboy. You done good.
Alright, did you pass it along already?
Yeah.
Yeah, you skipped an ogre though, but I don't know. If
It died.
That was the one that Chopper just ate.
And then you skipped an Ava, I think, or is it an Ava?
No, Ava
No,
kicked
Ava's
us off.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not back to you yet.
So, I get one shot to try to beat up Athena for the, blade cut that, she delivered. Take a billy club to the face. Yeah. Nope. Athena's too skilled and too armored with her magics and her new gear that she easily is able to defend against a great club swing of these feeble ogres.
Her new gear that we thrust upon her and said, "Take this, you need it, dear God."
Oh, wait. Technically, that damage was actually a little less than it should be because of Chompy's strength bonus on the bite thing. I should be getting +3 per power attack tick, not 2. I need to change that.
It's okay. Ava, the battle's going pretty well. 2 of them are already dead.
Yeah. Ava's just gonna basically point at the one near Athena. And we're just gonna get it handled. Ava's just gonna contribute.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, contribute. With a critical acid splash.
Right to the eye. It's
You-
best to see
His
a
eye basically
beautiful creature like
acid
you.
spittles away.
Disgusting.
Hey. Nice little chunk of damage there.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know, for a 0 level fucking like novice spell, I'd be like, ah!
Just shows how good Ava is with minimalistic use. Ethna, it is your turn, and this creature does look badly injured.
She's gonna take another smack at it.
You have a full round of attacks that you can bury into this creature should you like. And you're hasted, so you even get a hasted attack. Please make sure to mark hasted on your attack rolls.
And he's
Such a pre-recorded answer.
What?
The way Nick said it was like a pre-recorded thing.
Anna,
what? What'd I do wrong?
that was not a full round attack.
What? Oh,
It
it
gives
wasn't.
you the
I
option
clicked
between
the
single
wrong
and full
button.
attack. You gotta
God damn it.
You gotta hit full attack when it gives you the option.
Yep. Now I request that you do not click your hasted option. Just simply roll a full attack.
Okay. Full attack.
There you go.
Thank you. I hit the wrong button, damn it. It didn't.
Now,
didn't
luckily
click.
for you, all of those hit. You make mincemeat of this poor creature as Malak kind of exclaims in absolute jubilance, "A curse upon your family and all your family's family and your grandchild's child and your cousin," and just runs off the list of every family member this creature probably has ever had and doesn't understand what a family tree even is.
He's a fucking Mushu. He's Mushu.
That's you and everybody in your household.
Yep.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
Yep. This
Not the
creature is
cow!
absolutely eviscerated, and we move on
Yay.
to Frenzied Ogre, who is not feeling so good. All of his buddies are dead, and he goes, "I can finally eat now!" And is going to try to make his way towards Sylph.
Uh-oh.
Sylph looks like a tasty appetizer, but he's
Yes.
also too thin.
Yep. This creature is going to move, which will provoke from both Darlin and Chompy.
Attack me.
Oh, does Chompy
Sylph
have
just
to? He's
busts his
happily
chest out.
chewing.
That's up to you.
Fine. Chompy will steal another meal. It's fine. He's fine with having 2 meals. That means he gets both of them.
Sylph
and
is
you
just
can't take
screaming,
away.
"Come on!"
Prepare to die.
Bok.
20 to hit
Yeah.
for 23.
Darn.
So what I see, well, hold on. What I see this going down is this creature's already near death. Basically, Darlin just sweeps out this poor ogre at the legs, just breaking each bone on its way, and Chompy just dips his neck down off to the side lazily and snatches up just another thing to toss up and just start munching on like a ragdoll meal.
He gets dragged over on top of the other body. That way they're stacked right there, and no one can steal his food from him.
It's an
Yep.
ogre sandwich.
Someone might be concerned about the amount of sapience that Chompy eats, but I mean, he is the servant of someone that follows Lovecraftian deities, so I mean, this is normal.
But you all get the EXPs. Well, I probably should toss Gochin on here too. I'll fix it later. I'll fix it later. Yep. But yes, you dispatch these ogres with skill and finesse that your party have honed over the last few weeks, months, honestly, of trials and tribulations. As you fell the last ogre, a couple of the captives kind of peek out from the trees as they've kind of circled past your group in the chaos that has been caused and go, "Oh, shit! They're actually dead!"
There's loud cracking of bones as Chompy continues to just tear into these things.
But one of them's
That would
got a
be
monster!
And
Run for your lives! Run back to town! This dinosaur's on a rampage!
shut up, Sylph!
Chompy will lift one of the headless corpses up by its leg and then starts twisting his neck
Oh
back.
god,
and
it's
forth
already
like a
eating us! Run, guys!
Edna's gonna try and check on the escapees before they run away in terror.
Oh, right.
Darwin
I
just
almost,
looks
I
around really
almost forgot.
confused.
I almost forgot. The battle cry of victory, of course.
Run for the hills! It's gonna eat us!
Don't you hear its warnings? Run!
No, you can definitely close the distance before they get out of reach.
We're still hasted, sir.
Yes, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get back to the village safely now.
All told, there are 4 that look like they would be villagers. Just plain clothes of general workmen's. And there are 3 that look like prospectors of sorts, just based off of the soot and the general mining equipment that's still kind of left on them. Nothing to really help them get out of being bound, but the uniform itself kind of tells all you need to know. All of them are bruised from what you can only imagine were beatings into submission, and at least for now, they seem to have a moment of safety and reprieve. As you kind of approach, they look at you and your party a little tentatively, Hey, that one's not gonna eat us, right? Right?
He's not gonna eat you. She's gonna put her hands up, put Malak away and just put her hands up, we're not gonna hurt you.
As they're trying to have this conversation, Chompy looks up at the one that's gotten the closest, which is probably still very far away, and growls.
They're all far away.
As if he's going to steal his food.
Edna has basically put herself between the party and these people to, no, they're not gonna hurt you. She'll just be like, can you tell us what happened here? Obviously, some of them were under some sort of coercion, but what happened?
We got dragged out here, and we were behind another group led by another band of biggins further up, but with more of us. A few among them. I don't know that they're gonna survive, but good on the elf who decided to try to make his way ahead. Said he'd give us plenty of time to try to make our way back, some sort of distraction. Said he couldn't necessarily take them all on himself, but he could give us the best shot he could to get on out of here. And then y'all showed up, not more than about an hour later. I guess there was some sort of trigger.
Which way did he go?
Yeah, further upstream, if I had to guess. I'm not exactly sure. I know that the alderman was tagging along with those taken. A number that were bound and gagged, and several leather sacks tied over others' heads.
Oh god.
Do any of you need healing? Because if not, I am leaving now.
Middle-aged woman kind of would step out from the group. I'm sorry. I did hear the giants conversing about a meeting of sorts. Some sort of cathedral called Tinder Hall?
Yinder Hall?
Pretty sure it was Tinder Hall. Anyone who would like, go ahead and toss me a local or religion check.
Sylph is not good at those.
31.
You said local or religion?
Mm-hmm.
Never have an
Local's
engineer.
higher.
It's the only thing that I'm
Oh.
trained in.
Nice! Ava and Athena, being the brains, kind of put their heads together and go, wait a second, that doesn't sound right. This woman likely misunderstood a conversation about the giant god of Minderhall. But some sort of cathedral is something of note. From both of your checks, and just some of the preliminary understandings of what you guys were going into. Long ago, ancient giants constructed a massive cathedral to Minderhall in the remote valley somewhere here in the Mindspin. And it's likely the same valley you're searching for. So, if there's a cathedral that would be of note to a giant god, it's probably a natural gathering place for the giants themselves, especially if they're looking to bolster their ranks. As you're kind of coming to this conclusion, another one of the captives is a boyish-looking prospector, and comes and goes, Hi, my name's Hap. I heard something as well, and not wanting to be real, it seems that they're in a bit of a hurry to not be late for some Storm Tyrant's army, for somebody named Gristlecrack.
Grizzledeck?
Gristlecrack.
Grizzledeck?
Gristlecrack.
Grizzledick.
How many tables do we have to fix the cracks in?
It's a it's a crack at the gristle, or at least that's a name.
At this
I think
point, I'd like to ask a question.
Go ahead.
How hungry do these people look?
You have a rack of ribs?
No! Just, like,
How hungry do these people look?
I don't think that they necessarily look hungry. It doesn't seem like they've been, like, in captivity long. They just look weathered and beaten.
In which case, after he finishes his meal, Chompy's going to start stomping over.
I mean, his meal would take a little bit longer than the conversation that's currently transpiring. Because this isn't like a long conversation yet.
Okay, no hasted eating mode.
All right,
Chompy
guys.
might be a beast, but he does still like to, enjoy his food.
In that
It
case,
is
if I
still
can't
too-
interfere with Chompy, I will interfere as Dolgus. It's fine.
No.
So
Ah!
they went to a cathedral and put something in the crack?
What's this about crack?
No,
Is this like
no.
pink skin butt stuff? I thought
They
we
were
talked
talking
about this.
They were talking about not being late to some sort of army thing led by this storm tyrant Gristlecrack.
Grizzledick, yeah.
Brinzel crack.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Grizzledick.
Edna's gonna start walking away. She's tired of it.
I read it in a book once. That
She's
this,
over
this is probably an ailment.
Yep, he was walking away.
Yeah. Alright.
We're all trying to just figure this out.
Hey, wait, where you going?
You guys need to get back to the town where you got shit to do. And she's
Yeah,
gonna keep
but town's that way.
We're going the other way. You go to town.
There's you know what? Everybody go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh god.
We're not doing the escort quest.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just curious about something. Wow.
Not great.
Wow.
Oh, there's
Man,
Dolgus.
so we don't see shit.
Only Dolgus. Only Dolgus hears this, like, bellow amongst the trees, like, in the far distance. This deep, guttural exclamation of just upset fury.
Oh,
Okay.
It sounds
Oh, well-
really far away.
Okay,
But-
so let's roleplay this like Chompy. Like Dolgus really is the only one that hears it.
And it's to the west. Like, very.
Oh,
sorry. to
Guys,
the
we
east.
gotta go that way. We gotta go that way, guys. Let's go right now. You pinkskins, you can either come with, or you
Wait,
can go
why
back.
are we going that way?
I heard something big. Chompy, come on, we're gonna go hunt something big.
Hear anything?
So the stream
And
itself
at this
is
point,
going.
Dolgus will whip around and grab himself by the ears. Because they're filled with pink-skinned fluff.
Oh.
Now, as a note, just for reframing the current situation, the sound that Dolgus hears is to the east, which is opposite the
west.
direct. Yeah, I needed to correct myself because I'm looking at the map and I'm being a dingus. So,
Opposite of Roddy?
the stream goes down, heading westward. The sound you heard is coming from the east. Somewhere within the forest of the mountains. over yonder. They are in opposite directions, and it sounds pissed off.
Doesn't matter. Dokes knows where he's going.
Is it my buddy Urgesh? Do you hear him?
You don't know.
Oh god, I hope it's my friend.
You just hear a deep guttural bellow in Giant. You can't exactly tell what's being said, but you could tell by the tenor it has to be something huge.
Ethna, what do we do? Are you gonna run towards Roddy? If Dolgus is running towards the sound that he hears and you're running towards Roddy, I need to be able to back up one of you two.
You guys gonna really split the party?
Unless Ava promises to keep Ethna safe. And then you tell Roddy that I owe him a long lecturing when we get home.
Well, I'm confident in ensuring Athena's safety. I suspect that you lot are going to need our help.
Oh, for sure. But if you guys can get Roddy back quick enough and meet up with us,
We're already going.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
So who's going where? If you're going
trailed away by the ear by Dolgus.
If you are heading to the west to follow the stream downriver, place your token on the left side of the screen. If you are going to the east, in order to track down the sound of this, noise, or the root of this noise, place yourself on the right. Alrighty then.
This is going to end poorly.
The buddy cop film of Dolgus and Sylph going after the big knife.
I would like to know at this point that I am sitting on top of Chompy, and I will cast a spell on Chompy.
Oh boy.
Okay.
If I cast a
Now that
spell,
I
I
think
mean,
about it, the only one who can use any resurrection magics is probably going to die.
Uh-oh.
I do have a staff of healing.
Are you going to get Sylph to ride on top of Chompy with you?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Okay. Alright. What is Chompy's movement speed with Long Strider enabled?
Let me see. It is 40, sadly. I think that's why I have it prepared, is because T-Rexes aren't very fast.
40 is still about the same pace as an actual horse. So.
And it's faster than me, so, yeah.
Yep. So, disable haste, everybody. It has been long since past that haste would have worn off. But beyond that, yes, you split ways. The rest of the party, after leaving the ogre camp, can eventually reach the edge of the mountain forest where the stream they've been following becomes a full-blown river and drops into a large and winding valley, to which now the game of hide-and-go-seek really ups its game. Meanwhile, Sylph, Dolgus, Chompy blaze their trail towards the direction of the large and imposing sound. The three of you may go ahead and, Dolgus and Sylph may go ahead and roll me survival checks. Chompy may assist with, his own roll.
Also, I think we're actually moving at 30 because he's wearing medium armor. So I'm currently countering the medium armor thing.
I see.
But oh well.
I like
You're
how you
muted.
get the negative one.
That's a wisdom penalty.
Yeah.
Still 15. 16 is still pretty good, though.
And Chompy's assist, which is better than Sylph's regular roll.
That said, you guys do not get lost amongst the woods and are able to path your ways fairly effectively. Sylph, you're getting a, straight up display of what a beast does when it's naturally hunting in the wilderness. It's not quite a display you would get too often in urban settings that you tend to enjoy more often. Dolgus and Chompier.
Like
Go
the
ahead.
foliage we're running through and stuff is it just like a whole bunch of different types of like foliage? Are we in like a dense forest?
It's relatively coniferous,
All right, so
and it is mountain. It is mountain coniferous.
Can I roll a perception check to see if, with the speed that we're going, if I can catch like a berry bush coming up on like towards us and reach out and grab a berry?
Sure.
All right, let's get this berry.
Nope.
The wind is flapping in your cheeks, and you're having to sit there and bob, and you are on top of a T-Rex. With a
If the wind is
12.
flapping his cheeks, is he farting?
Not them cheeks. Goodness gracious.
He's just having a real gassy
do I miss the
ride.
berry? I probably missed the berry with that 12.
Yeah, you missed the berry, but you do note the different elements of the forest as you're traveling.
All right. Well, with Silk being all like exhilarated from this feeling, like riding on the back of a dinosaur, he's gonna have to go for this second option and reach towards Dolgus's beard and take some of the grease from it and smudge his face with battle marks. Kind of like a football player, only it's with just stench and dirt.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So, like a football player.
He is a warrior right now.
Alright.
They're gonna die, guys. Just so you know.
Oh, we're gonna fight to the death.
Obviously.
Yeah, you're deaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got this.
It is after a little while that you eventually come to a smattering of trees and debris as you can see a lumbering creature kind of hanging out in the midst, just roaring and just screaming in giant.
Dolgus, do you know what he's saying?
No
Does
idea.
Dolgus speak giant?
Nope.
Alright then.
I was gonna say the
No, he doesn't. He just seems very pissed off.
Can I try and cast Charm Person on it?
I believe that is a close range spell, and I don't think you're close enough yet. You guys see this guy from, like, as you're, like, trailing in to, like, this display of just a very pissed off, very large individual. You will be able to, however, roll me a knowledge local check. And I know you have it, Sylph, but Dolgus doesn't. Channel your inner Ava.
God. Knowledge local, you said?
Mm-hmm. How do you have a mind? That's Chompy. Okay.
I ate the better rolling.
Hey, that's good there, Sylph.
I had to be Ava.
You channeled your inner Ava. That will net you some information about this creature. This is what we call a, this is a variant of a Cyclops, actually. This is a Jotunblood Cyclops. This is a huge humanoid giant, and Cyclops are known for some fairly nasty abilities. But you get to ask me one question.
It'll auto-axe crit us into oblivion, like 100+ damage, single swing.
Holy shit.
What do you want to know about Sylph?
Could I phone a friend?
You could phone a friend, because you are a rookie.
Alright, Ava, what should I do?
Ava's not here. She said be right back.
Shit! Alright, Dolgus, what should I do?
What it tastes like. Well, give Chompy like diseases if he eats it.
No.
Wow!
You should have asked.
Ask a different friend.
I picture Sylph on the stage of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, who's called like 2 people. The first one didn't answer. The other one gave some nonsense.
Still just sits there and blinks slowly. All right, darling. What should I ask it?
Beep. Beep. Beep.
What is its weakness?
Yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
All right. No stated weaknesses.
Oh. You wasted it.
Okay.
In the same lane that I do with all of my other games, when there aren't any weaknesses stated, I will give a little bit of something. It does have defensive abilities known as Battle Insight, Ferocity, and Rock Catching, as well as Spell Resistance.
Oh,
Battle
shit.
Insight is what lets it decide to automatically critical something once a day.
So the fact that this thing is out in the woods and
With
was
giant
affected
axe.
with a giant axe and was affected by what you would assume is magic means that Roddy got really fucking lucky. Now,
What are we gonna do?
to explain Battle Insight is basically just giving it a bonus to its armor class equal to its wisdom. Ferocity is something you've come across before. It is simply that when it goes below 0 hit points, it is staggered, but it is still a threat. And it will not go down until it is dead. And Rock Catching is a giant special. It is just, it has the ability to catch rocks midair and,
No spell resistance, so like if someone casts like lightning on it, it just resists it.
So, how spell resistance works in this game is if a spell allows for a spell resistance roll, it is effectively a caster level check to beat the number on the creature stat block. For example, if Ava casted Lightning Bolt on this creature, she would have to roll a d20, add her level, and any special modifier she might have from feats, items, or abilities, and beat the number that this creature has for its SR. In this case, I'm just going to say it, because this is kind of like a tutorial lesson. This creature has SR 20. So you need to roll. You would need to roll for, just assuming your base level, which is 8.
8, 12.
You'd need to roll a 12 or better.
Oh, okay.
But it's not all spells, just spells with spell resistance, yes.
Yep. So there's a lot of spells out there that don't worry about spell resistance at all.
Oh yeah, like acid arrow, spell resistance, no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really want to piss this thing off?
Unadulterated Loathing has spell resistance. No, I don't want to piss it off, but if Chompy wants to fight it, I have no reason to back you up.
Yeah, no, Chompy doesn't want to fight it unless, Dolgus asks him to fight it, because Chompy doesn't like bigger things.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Chompy's gonna have to roll a will save.
Yeah, but I don't want to send Chompy to his death, because again, that auto crit will probably do at least 100 points of damage, which is like double Chompy's hit points.
Oh no, I completely understand. I'm just asking for the will save preemptively to see, like, Chompy's demeanor of it. It's like when you send a normal animal companion to go fight, like, an undead or something else without having the trick that, like, lets it go fight the weird, creepy, like, not natural thing. Chompy is down to clown if you are, but he's not gonna charge in first.
Alright, Dolgus, what do you want to do?
I'm going to, wait. My intelligence is an 8, but my wisdom is much higher than that. Same time, we have no way of knowing if it spurned its natural 20 thing today, but we should assume it hasn't, just because.
I mean, I got a gallon. I got some things to help out. I got a lot of annoying things that I can use on it.
Just looking at what I got.
It has not noticed you guys yet, so you do effectively have the jump on it at this current point.
Yes, we could even flank it. Like, I think I could still run off somewhere and get advantage if I have to.
Let me see what my summon list is for this level.
Yeah, so we might actually do this.
The problem is I don't know how to quickly make summons on Foundry. That's like a skill I've never learned yet, even now.
All good. I just drag a creature over to your list and give you a picture and token for it. So
Yeah, but then I need to figure out how to apply the buff. And,
if you've made the buff on any of your other tokens, then we can drag it over from those to the new ones.
Except there is no save token.
You don't have any summons yet? You got the Pacific.
I distinctly remember using one a couple of sessions ago, but for some reason it didn't stay. So
I'll look in its buffs real quick.
you
got
a Packy or something like that. Packy.
Yeah, you got a Packy in here with an augment summoning buff.
It wasn't under the summons though.
It is under summons.
All I have under summons is a new actor 32.
Weird. I see Packy on here with you as owner CR4.
Nope, the only one that I see as an owner of me owning is new actor parentheses 32. I can't see anything other than that.
With this being a humanoid, does it also pertain to the speed of us? Like, it only has a 30-foot thing, and doesn't have anything like super special?
Well, I can't tell you that because that was not the question
Oh,
you asked
there are
earlier.
2 summons folders. There are 2 summons folders.
Are there?
I'm gonna assume that he does.
I was looking at the summons folder under companions, but apparently there's another summons folder that's outside of companions.
Oh, weird. Okay, strange.
So yeah, that was the source of my confusion. I apologize.
Let me delete the one in remove folder. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, given enough time, how many 4th level spells do I have?
I will point this out. The fact that you got a single question means that you only beat the check by 5 to identify this creature.
So what does that mean that CR is?
That means its CR is fairly high in comparison to your check, which you rolled a 25. So this thing could be at least like CR 9, 10, somewhere around there.
Honestly, I was just going to say that if it wasn't for the instant crit, I honestly believe Chompy could take it with just a buff.
I mean, knowing that this is a Cyclops, that isn't.
The problem is that instant crit with that big of an axe is like basically a guaranteed 100+ points of damage, which one shots pretty much anything at this level.
And you are wise.
Mm-hmm.
There are giants and cyclopses from the River Kingdoms area.
God, I wish our friend was here.
So.
Well, okay, we're going to get ready to run, but first, let me check this. Max range. Oh, that is a long range spell. Wonderful. How far away can we see this?
The clearing is about like 100 in radius.
Okay, so we can.
Whatever you're gonna do, I'm gonna cast Gallant on it.
You're gonna cast what on it?
Gallant, so it makes it work.
What?
Gallant.
What does Gallant do?
Gallant, this word of arcane empowerment inspiration often ensures success of a crucial endeavor. So, like, if there were a chance where it was going to fail, I would
like to point out that Gallant works on attack rolls and skill checks.
Damn it. Never mind.
Yeah, this thing's also, you gotta remember this thing is also, other things. But, we could see if we can get to chase us back to the others. We just need to guarantee ourselves a head start.
Sylph came with you on this. He's down to do whatever. It's just you take the blame with me.
Yippers.
What's the strategy here, guys?
Piss it off and lead it on a merry chase through the tree line back to the others.
Oh my goodness.
So I would like to open up my initial volley with... wait, one moment. I got this. you're within a tree line, it's going to probably make it harder for it to come through a tree line because it's bigger, but it'll also
So
feel bigger, so it'll
badass.
come through things. So first I will obviously start this as a surprise round action to cast that, and we start booking it.
So you cast Entangle. This has no spell resistance. Lucky you. And I'm guessing you're placing this directly in between it and you.
Yeah, but making sure that it still starts off the area in it, even as we basically roar and make sure we make sure it looks this way. We entangle the ground and we just start booking it.
Okay, I will do this then. I'm going to roll its reflex.
Oh god.
Okay.
It passes.
Yep.
And now it's going to start booking its way after you. Now you guys do have a head start of at least a good 100 feet. A little more thanks to the Entangle. The Entangle,
I'm not done
however,
yet.
is
Yeah, I will
only
on next turn.
40-foot radial spread. And you note that it trods through it at 25 feet in the first round.
Yep. That's what the next spell is for on my next turn, on the next round.
Yeah. So tell me the strategy of how you're keeping this thing from catching up with you.
Unadulterated loathing on
Nope.
Chompy.
No, it's gonna have a thing, but no, on the next round.
Stone Call, okay.
Double difficult terrain.
No saving throw, no spell resistance.
Double difficult terrain.
Well, it's already
It's gonna be-
most of the way through the initial Entangle, so its second round will effectively be wasted trying to get through that. But its third
It'll still
round,
be well within the stone call by the time of my third round, right?
Another Entangle. Okay. By this point, you guys are probably out of visual sight of this thing for the time being. If you're continuing your pace away, you think you've bought yourself at least another couple rounds with the consideration of the Entangle. Let me go ahead and roll the next saving throw, just for, shits and giggles. Okay. You think you've probably bought yourself a minute.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, one more thing as we're running. I leave a trail of those behind us.
1 20-foot square per level. Alright.
This is fucking awesome. We just Mario Karted away.
Yes, you did. And along that path, you are going to run back to your friends. Go ahead and roll me a survival check.
This is amazing.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm laughing my ass off.
This is
Alright,
so
survival
funny
check.
right now. They're gonna see us barreling back to them.
Not one, but I still get a 20.
And Chompies.
Oh, Chompy's right. One moment.
My goodness. Okay.
I hope this doesn't wind up in one of our deaths.
You do not lose trail of the smell that your friends had left and that you have left. But you do hear the lumbering and this pursuit, and it sounds
He's
like
getting
it's
pissed off
getting...
the more he's chasing us.
Well, here's the thing. You also hear this rip-roaring blast as, it sounds like trees literally crack and you can see light in the, rear view mirror,
Oh my God.
going your direction. Now, luckily, you are very far away from it. But, every half minute or so, there's another beam of light that just gets shot out into the distance.
Filth is going to lean into Chompy's ear and goes, Chompy, I know you understand what I'm saying right now. Please, just run.
He doesn't actually, but sure.
But yes, there are trees being thrown, lights going off. You don't know what that light means, yeah, you can just hear the devastation behind you, and it does grow closer with every minute. It's slow, it's hindered, but there is progress, and you carry
my
on this
God.
way for like a good hour.
Oh crap!
As you've
That
noticed,
was worse. Is this strategy or us in our Pirates game dropping them in pits?
you know,
We're playing Mario Kart with a dinosaur, though. This is hilarious.
Yes, we are.
Because like he's all like difficult terraining them, making them slow. In our other game, we just dropped them in pits and killed them.
that said,
It's made funnier by the fact that until like the last couple sessions, Marcus has never used a pit spell in the game.
Ava, Darlin, Gochin, and Ethna head their way into the edge of this valley. This is likely what the giants call Minderhall's Valley at the bottom of this canyon. After, some ancient...
Alright, question. Do we need a roll for the whole Spike Stone damage things also having their speed again?
We'll see. That is a spell resistance, so I will need a spell resistance check first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right, one moment.
In the
The
meantime,
difficult terrain part is like automatic, but yeah, it's the cutting part that's not.
Yeah.
the valley lies beneath the slopes of several tall mountains, carved by a snaking river, fed by numerous mountain streams that spill into the mine spin's icy spires. The mountains here are thousands of feet high, with steep slopes, cliffs, and rock walls all around. It is immediately apparent that moving across the valley floor will be significantly easier than traversing the mountain slopes above the valley. The valley floor is considered trackless plains for the purposes of your maneuvering, so you can probably assume a speed of 30 feet, and you should be able to probably cover about 18 miles a day, should you decide to continue your traversal. But at this current moment, I would like for the three of you to roll survival checks as you meet the threshold of this valley.
Yes, survival, right.
Oh.
Survival, right.
Oh.
It is at this time that while you've made your way to the entrance of this valley, you have come to find that you've lost a majority of what the tracks entailed before. At this stage, you are now looking at the unbridled wilderness before you. Not a lot of information to go on. And as we look at the rear view mirror of your wayward friends behind you, you begin to wonder where your survivalists are. Because it's at this moment that you probably would need them most. And little that you know, they'll probably be joining you fairly soon, provided you don't trail too far ahead of them. But in what condition and with what trouble? That is always the ever-present question. But what I have for you right now is, do you plan to carry on forward, trackless and aimless, or do you plan to wait for your companions and hope that they didn't die on their reckless quest?
They'll probably come to get us for help for something soon enough.
You think they won't come to help?
As soon as Chompy gets hungry, searching for us.
I figured as soon as Syl stubs his toe on something or needs to polish his nails again, he'd come.
True.
I see him every day beg Ava for prestidigitation. I know it. I've watched him walk up to her with like coffee and a chocolate and go, please, I can't stand being dirty this long. Help me.
It sounds like a self thing.
So, do you three press on, or do you wait?
Sounds like we might be waiting.
Very
Might as
well.
well wait. Rest
Then it
ourselves
is-
and such.
Then it is here that we will also wait with Session to drag the problem right back to the party and to hopefully pick up the pieces that we have lost along the way.
If we had a Hall of Fame section for this game, I'd be putting down the Mario Kart with the dinosaur. It's my favorite.
That was fun.
We should have had you shooting at it while we were going. I mean, you wouldn't be able to aim at touch AC, but I mean, hey.
This is true.
Of course, you would have also been at all sorts of penalties because mounted archery, basically.
Hmm.
Moving all the trees.
Yep. I apologize for the extra long delay on sessions.
It's okay.
Circumstances barring, but
They're fine. We'll just blame Dave.
I hope everybody at least had some fun tonight.
Mhm.
You know, we don't really talk about these games as much as like we do others, but it's still here.
I
Yay.
like this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Well, I will
have
see
fun.
2 of you on Saturday, and I shall see the rest of you on, presumably, Thursday.
Presumably. We'll find out. I don't know. I might still be locked away somewhere.
Are
Well,
you currently locked away somewhere?
you couples have a good vampire then. Catch you guys later.
Later.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.
Night.